There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. The Yonkō Table has set sail into the deep seas yet again, fresh off the presses from our previous episode where we had our first Vivre card special with our special guest, Calvin Brown Jr. In case you guys don't know, he is the co-executive producer and writer on The Proud Family. And we got a great talk with him, great insight into the show, and all around great guy. So if you want to listen to that, be sure to check out our previous episode. It's the Vivre card special on Mr. Calvin Brown Jr. But today, we're here to talk about the Proud Family episode that aired today, episode 7, and when you wish upon a Roker. How can you not like something like this? So we're going to deep dive this episode as well. But with me, as always, is fellow Yonkō GrandMasterHoop. Grandmaster, I see you're excited with Romeo, with Benedict in the background. You were for this episode, huh?
I'm for every episode of the Proud Family, but there are always things in the episode, and it might be the smallest thing that really clicks for me, or I really enjoy. I really enjoyed Benedict, the Hamilton spoof that they did, and for a number of reasons that I'm sure we'll get into. But yes, I'm sporting Benedict in the back with Lamorne Morris, and yes, there are a lot of enjoyable bits in this episode, and I'm here to talk. I'm ready.
Let's dive deep into it already. Benedict, the first 5 minutes, the first 3 to 4 or 5 minutes, however long it was of this episode of the Proud Family, I was loving it. Like, the comedy was spot on, joke after joke. It was really fast paced. They were hitting all of them, at least for me. You you got the whole comedy bit with Benedict being a play off of Hamilton. And it was great. And then you have Oscar being Oscar with his dad tropes with Penny saying you can't get no
Penny, Penny, I'm calling you. Where are you, Penny?
Penny. What did you think about these first couple minutes of the episode? Were you for it? I'd imagine with Benedict in the background.
I need the Benedict spinoff. I need to see this musical. I need
full production, please.
I need the whole soundtrack. Like, I was very invested listening to the story of Benedict Arnold, given to us by Lamorne Morris, and I was like, this is so stupid. But then, of course, in natural Proud Family fashion, of course, you have a character like Oscar who is perfect to be like, what is this? Founding fathers weren't black.
I was sold on that line.
Right. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. And then and then you had Oscar going back and forth with Lamorne. And if you know Lamorne and his credits, New Girl, he's Winston from New Girl.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So as a New Girl fan, I'm like, oh yes, there goes Winston.
That's
and
hilarious.
Oscar goes in. Oscar calls him New Girl. He's like, listen, I'm New Girl.
Oh, that's what he was referring to. Okay.
Yes, that is.
Okay.
That he referred to both Lamorne shows. His other Hulu series, Woke. So I love the Hamilton spoof. And again, a fan of Hamilton. I'm down for any Hamilton spoof. So I love that Proud Family wants to poke jabs at Hamilton and do this Benedict. I'm a sellout, but I didn't sell out.
No, that was great. I love that. I want a full song.
I know they're holding back
this
soundtrack for this series. Like, they've been putting a lot of emphasis in the songs, and if you listen to our interview with Calvin, music is big in the Proud Family, and I feel like I'm now noticing it more, especially in this new series, how much emphasis they're putting on original content. So I need the soundtrack.
No, for sure. I think there has to be an original track, like a full track of this song, because I think around 2 days after each episode airs. So like I think on every Friday, like Friday morning, they release the full version of the song that was the star of that episode. So for example, Cuter Than You, right?
Oh, it's Cuter Than You out?
Cuter Than You is out. Cuter Than You is out.
That's funny.
And I only know this because like I follow I think it's like Disney Vivo or Vivo at Disney on YouTube. So I'm always checking to see, okay, where's the full song? I want Cuter Than You. Where's the full song? I want Tone Loc in there. And then bam, it's always 2 days after. So hopefully maybe our wishes will come true on this. We'll get a full on Benedict, maybe a full 1 to 2 minute a full soundtrack on Friday. So
I know it's there. I just want
it's gotta be.
Right.
It's gotta be. But this episode marks the return of Kareem.
That I was gonna say, that's the other great part. Yeah.
And Calvin talked with us about it on our interview. He was like, yeah, man, Kareem is gonna make a return. We're like, oh man, when is that gonna be? And what do you know? Bam. Kareem returns this episode, which seems to be, you know, like the main I guess interest, the main love interest in Penny. Like they're sticking to it, you know?
Yes. And I like that. I like we're now, and again, that's you know, growth between series instead of, you know, again, the one and done kind of deal with a boy. Penny's seeing Kareem. And on top of that too, Oscar is being a little more open to the idea of Penny dating. I mean, he's going to sit between them during the show because he paid too much for these tickets not to come.
For these prices, I ain't leaving.
Right. And so, but yes, it's cool to see growth in that aspect. But again, it's still same old Oscar. He still ruins the moment. And then on top of that too, he's becoming kind of genuine friends with Kareem, you know,
which is nice. You know, that's like, it's a 50-50 because, you know, Penny is just so agitated with Oscar, you know, because she's getting in the way. I mean, he's getting in the way and she just wants to have alone time with Kareem. But on the other side, it's like what you just said. Kareem is actually getting along really well with Oscar. It doesn't even bother him.
Right. And then just watching Penny, like, you know, it's like that relationship where, you know, your significant other becomes best friends with your parents and then they forget about you. So I understand Penny's frustration. I get it. It's really good. I really like what they're doing with Kareem and how he's, you know, just becoming a staple amongst the Prouds. So it's good job by them.
It was pretty good. And that basically transitions into, you know, Penny's, I guess, motivation for making the wish that she never seems to learn from. Especially with our boy, Mr. Al Roker.
Right.
Al Roker makes his faithful return. And, you know, mind you, there was other things that kind of like snowballed into Penny's, you know, wish into wanting to be away from her parents. You know, there was the whole parental block thing on using the computer, and it was just a spiraling effect. Like she was just getting so sick and tired of what was going on with her, Oscar, her family, all that.
But yeah, goodness, come on. And if anything, they have made Al Roker synonymous with almost the devil at this point, to where Penny's like, come, like he said, oh yeah, I got a promotion. I'm working for the big guy downstairs. Don't you mean upstairs? So it's like, yes, Penny, come on. You haven't learned a thing. I mean, she did learn this. She said, Al Roker, he's back. And he goes, you know, you want me to get rid of the adults again? She's like, no, I want to get rid of them. Like, I want to be away from them. And here we go. You know, the very specific, I want to be a sophomore in college.
Yeah. I wonder why it was that specific year. Maybe it was, I don't know, just so that you're halfway through the school years, I guess.
Maybe they've heard some dreaded rumors about freshman year.
Oh, the freshman 10.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know. She said a sophomore. I'm like, okay, sure.
Al Roker's there for you. He's got you covered.
Right. And you know, I watched it twice. And I was actually pausing. I was reading that contract. It was pretty straightforward. It did say everything he said. There was no like little loose ends. I was looking for like, how's he gonna get her? He's like, what's the catch, Roker? And you're just my favorite little person, Penny. But yep, here we go. She sends it to her friends, and boom, they're all sophomores in college. Which is a very interesting take, I think, how they did it. Everybody had a new voice actor. And
everyone except, did La Cienega had a new voice actress?
Yes, she did.
Did?
Every one of them had a new voice actor.
Whoever did La Cienega was spot on accurate.
Oh my gosh.
If it's someone different, because I did know that the premise of the episode when they aged them up to college was everyone was going to get a new voice actor or actress.
I didn't know that. I did not know that going in.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool because you got to shine some light on, some up and coming actresses or actors or people that have been in the game for like a couple of years, but maybe not back then during the original Proud Family. But yeah, like you could discernibly tell like which voices were different. Like even DrJace's was pretty good in terms of like sounding like the original, but you could still tell it wasn't her. I don't know what it was. La Cienega did not have too many lines, but I was trying to listen to La Cienega and I'm like, did they even change her? She sounds exactly like her. I don't know.
No, you're right. If anybody, La Cienega definitely she also didn't get as much to do in this episode. However, yes, her voice actress, and I just pulled it up because I wanted to write them all down in the credits. Carrie Martin, don't know her. That's okay.
That's okay.
Sure, she's making a splash somewhere. I see she was on Hentified on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Right.
As a voice actress? Or?
Oh no, she's a main character, live action series.
Nice.
Yeah, they all had different voice actors, and she herself, Carrie Martin, did a really good job at matching Elisa Reyes, La Cienega's OG voice actor.
They did really good. I mean, I was convinced. I thought, oh yeah, La Cienega didn't change, but turns out she did.
And funny enough, I think she's younger than. I think she's younger than. Funny, they got different voice actors who are either younger.
That's hilarious.
She's younger. Yes,
the younger ones are voicing the older versions of the characters.
Correct. Or they might be the same age. For example, Penny's voice actress, I think, did a really good job too.
Yeah, she did.
Her name's Logan Browning.
Logan Browning, okay.
Right, and she, I most know her from, if you ever seen Dear White People on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I've seen the first couple episodes.
Right. She's the main on there. And I'm like, I think her and Kyla Pratt are the same age.
Oh, that's her, the main character from Dear White People?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She plays College Penny.
Oh, okay. That's nice. All right.
Right. And I was like, I think they're the same age, which I find
they
fun.
Gotta be, maybe. Yeah.
Right. But I think the funniest little voice change, clearly, and also overall change, has to be Zoe, because
Oh, the glow up.
I think how they did her dirty in the first episode.
Yes. Yeah.
She just got taller. Now, look at Zoe now. She's a little thick. They got rid of that rasp in her voice.
Yes.
And now she can sing.
They had her go through the runnings of puberty, especially all the way to college.
Right. And I find that hilarious. And I think that's what the episode really had going for it. They had a lot of funny concepts that I just think about. In retrospect, I'm just like, wow, they did that. They did that to Zoe. They made her just this glow up where she's like a dime amongst the pennies. Ha ha ha.
Okay. I see what you did there.
But yes, what'd you think of the other college gimmicks? Did they nail the college aesthetic?
I feel like they did. The struggle of trying to balance like your social life and also attending classes, studying for exams, writing the research papers. We all had that one professor that looked like Eddie Murphy.
Stop! I never had a. Okay.
You never had one?
A Professor Klump? No, no, never.
I had a Professor Klump, and he was great. I liked him.
I can't believe I was just like, yo, they're just being blatant with some of these references now.
It was perfect. I loved it. I freaking loved it. I'm surprised they didn't go a little bit further with it. Like, I'm surprised they didn't make him like Penny's like science professor, and he's mixing chemicals and stuff. And then, at the end, like maybe he drinks one, and the whole nutty professor spiel.
I think they just went for the straight sight gag. They're like, oh, you don't get it, then you've been living under the rock in the early 2000s, late 90s, and you missed this gem. They threw a couple of little sight gags in there, and like references to the chicken sandwich, the whiz eye, which at first I was like, what's a whiz eye?
Yeah,
it's Popeyes. When Popeyes dropped that chicken sandwich.
Okay. Yeah, they were really homing in on the chicken sandwich thing in this episode. Like, everyone was eating it. Like they mentioned it, then they would eat it, then they would eat it later. That's the only, like, Penny would eat it later, even though when the gag was already over. I'm like, wow.
Have you had the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
Have I myself?
Yes, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty good, but I also love how. Okay, I really like. Okay, we've been talking about Maya, and we kind of been on her case since her introduction. I really like College Maya.
Right. It's very fitting. Right.
She's voiced by Lena Waithe. To this day, I don't even know if I say her name right. Masters of None with a Z. She's credited for, writing many episodes for that and starring. Okay. I believe she wrote the film, oh my gosh, with our boy, Daniel Kaluuya. Sorry, Daniel Kaluuya. Queen and Slim. She wrote Queen and Slim.
I have not seen that.
I haven't seen it either, but I know it gets a lot of praise, and I know most of the praise comes because she wrote, if I'm not mistaken, I got to rank here. Yes, she wrote the story with James Frey, and she produced it too. So either way, it's really funny that they got her as College Maya because it fits. She's kind of, Black power, Black activist and whatnot.
Right.
She's over here. Oh my gosh. She's like, I'm going back to middle school. This is a glorified plantation.
I can't believe she went there. That was hilarious.
And then she's over here like, yo, the chicken sandwich is just a conspiracy to get these chemicals inside of us. But she still can't help but eat it.
It's that good. It's that good. Damn, these chemicals taste great.
Right. And she said something else in the beginning too that I found really funny. But I thought that was great. I really like College Maya and her activist. She's like, I need to go to HBCU. And like, even Zoe's like, I need to go to HBCU too.
Zoe.
But you totally can. You totally can.
You're allowed
Zoe.
to.
You sure can.
What do you think about Michael and his Zeta Kappa Omega dance? Can you relate? Because I was watching this and I'm like,
can I relate? No.
This is a GrandMasterHoop relation.
Okay. I can't relate because one, that's called above ground pledging. They don't do that no more. You get major in trouble for that. And that's hazing, man. Yes, you cannot do that anymore.
Wait, like dancing? Like the dancing pledges?
No, the strolling and the stepping was fine. It is when DeJaceAttorney came in as the Dean of Pledges, and he's like, sorry, big sister. Gosh, I can't remember the name.
Big Sister Too Cute? Is that what it was?
Big Sister Too Cute. Gosh, though, I can't remember the whole line. Either way, no, you cannot do above ground pledging anymore.
That line, like the way Michael addressed DeJaceAttorney.
Yes, correct. That was high key hazing. You cannot do that anymore. So I imagine in the writer's room you have some old heads in there who talking about, their college
Y'all remember
days.
back in the good old days?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. Like my dad said that's the reason why he never joined, because he saw his brother go through that or heard stories from him. And he's like, why the heck would I want to do that? Now, with that said, pledging and, joining a frat or sorority, very prestigious opportunity. But I like how Proud Family poked fun at it because, that's how it used to be. No, you cannot do that anymore.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yes. But I like how each character was kind of doing something different in the college setting.
I like that. Like everyone was like, I think Kareem was doing music theory.
Music theory.
The school's orchestra. Again, they always do my girl La Cienega dirty. I think she said something about criminal justice, but she was
doing criminal justice, which I guess aligns with her mother being a cop and a detective.
Oh, okay.
That's what I picked up on. But yeah, we didn't see much of it. I mean, we didn't see much of Zoe either. All Zoe was doing was singing in the lounge, which is I imagine like an open mic night.
Open mic night. I mean, hey, she got the glow up, and that's all she needed to go to college. That's all she wanted.
Right. They also put emphasis on the co-ed dorms. I was like, my dorm was co-ed.
Yeah, I didn't know if that it was that revolutionary, because my dorm was co-ed too.
Right. Yeah, it's just all the girls were on one side and all the guys were on the other side, but there wasn't like a barrier stopping us.
Right. Right.
But here we are with Penny, and now we see the real struggles of what it means to be a college student.
It's that balance.
That balance. And everybody else wanted out. Everybody else, I'm going back to middle school.
Which I don't blame them, because you do get a lot more responsibilities, going to college, and then, beyond that, graduation. But I just like Maya's interpretation of like, this is just a plantation.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I'm just going back.
Right. They really called it for what it is. Yes. But then, I really found it funny how Roker, he's got Penny trapped, and
because she stayed the week.
She stayed the week,
right.
And then she assumed all this debt. And he's like, oh, the way you're going to get out of it is by selling these like products that are low quality, but we sell for a high price. And I'm telling you right now, I almost got caught up in those scams too, selling like books that nobody needs for such a high price.
Oh, that's right.
So many people get caught up in that stuff. That's real. That's real stuff. That's real stuff.
Right. People try to pay off their debts and their rent by just doing that stuff.
Because it sounds like a cool opportunity. Oh, like you get to travel.
Why wouldn't I do this?
Right. It's such an easy thing. You go door to door, and no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I think this is where we get hit with the lesson. Kareem, upon exiting, at one point he said, just because we don't have someone to tell us to do something doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. And it's like, assume your responsibilities, and take ownership versus having someone breathe down your neck telling you to do this and, take care. Right. Penny don't want to listen.
She don't want to listen. I mean, she eventually learns her lesson, at least, almost when it's too late. I only know what would have happened if Oscar never came to her rescue. By the end, I'm like, oh, so that means Penny was going to be stuck there. She was going to be stuck as a sophomore in college, probably living on the street because she got evicted. She cannot pay off her debt. I mean, she was probably going to drop out right there with DrJaceAttorney. Like,
right. But shoot, they made it sound like she was about to be a super senior, just always accumulating debt for not going to class and whatnot. I imagine this episode might hit with some people who overstayed their time in college.
What? Who?
But Oscar, do you know the Big O? You remember the Big O, y'all?
The Big O. Wait, that's in reference to the old episode, right?
Yeah, the basketball episode.
The basketball. Yeah.
Right. The Big O, y'all. I was like, oh my God.
They brought my boy back.
Right. And I like seeing the big O in that persona, like Bubba. I don't know what I forget what he said, but he's like, Bubba baby, come on now. It's the big O, y'all. We're gonna get through this. I'm your daddy.
Penny wasn't having it at all. She was telling him to leave. Overall the episode, I really enjoyed it. Was there anything that you didn't like about the episode? Like, because at least for me, like, I really liked the first portion, like the whole thing with Oscar, Penny, like, getting ready to, make the wish with Al Roker. I loved everything up until that point. I liked the college bit when they introduced us to college, but I felt like there was like maybe like 3 to 5 minutes of like, I feel like it kind of like plateaued a little bit, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. For me, they should have just went crazy with the kind of the college bit. Just kind of be like exaggerated to extreme lengths, I feel. Just for, comedic purposes. The setup was great. The first part of the episode was great. The wish was great. The reintroduction to everybody. And then I think they should have just, went in on and exaggerate what it is to be a college thing, what could be scary to these kids to send them packing,
Right, right.
And I feel they did. Yeah, it was just kind of surface level, and I mean, it's not a bad thing. But again, for me, the biggest comedic moments really just come from when I look back at it on the situations I thought were funny and the characterizations I thought were funny. I don't think all the jokes landed, but the concept itself I thought was good and I thought was funny. Right. Now, I don't know how you feel about this. How do you feel with them being kind of so blatant with their pop culture references?
Like what do you mean?
I don't know. For example, Professor Klump. That's right in your face.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't get it,
right. You wanted, like, you're saying it's too on the nose, I guess?
I guess what I've seen as a trend in this new series is they're going for a lot of sight gags and a lot of pop culture references to the point where it's no longer subtle. And when I think about the old series, there wasn't as much. And it's not a bad thing. It is something I notice that sometimes I think maybe it takes away from what they could have done with the episode.
Like maybe make an original character that's parodying that character that it's referencing. Like, is that what you mean? Like,
I mean, that's one way to counteract it.
Like 15 Cent, right?
Yeah, like 15 Cent. I mean, I don't like talking about the movie, but yes, 15 Cent.
Okay.
Yes, or like Sir Paid a Lot,
Sir Paid a Lot, okay.
Like, I don't think Professor Klump had a name, but it's clearly Professor Klump. Or, like Dr. Payne. Dr. Payne is clearly, like Mr. T.
Right. And
so
also Major Payne, I think.
Yeah, a mix of Major Payne and Mr. T. Right.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Now that we talked about it, I do understand like why sometimes when you make an original character and you add elements of the references that you're trying to make, you have someone that you're going to remember for a long time, like the one that you mentioned, Dr. Payne. Dr. Payne, we remember him because he was an original character in the show, but also because he was referencing the stuff we just mentioned, Major Payne and Mr. T. So I can see why something like just on the nose, just straight in your face, that's Professor Klump. End of story. That's all it is. I'm okay with it. Would I have liked an original character that maybe incorporated some of the shenanigans of Dr. Klump? Maybe, yeah. Maybe that would have been a more memorable gag in the episode, because maybe a few years from now, maybe I might not remember that there was a Dr. Klump sight gag in the episode. But if there was an original character that I got introduced to and I'm like, oh my God, that's the character making fun of Professor Klump, making fun of I don't know, Donkey from Shrek. I don't know.
Yeah. So I feel maybe I'm just thinking too much, but it's like it's surface level sight gag. Then you got to take it deeper, you know. If you're gonna just give a straight up sight gag, or for example, when Penny was going to the barbershop, they were talking about Space Jam 1 and 2, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like verbally out loud, which is definitely a conversation people have. Is a relatable conversation. Maybe I would have liked it if they said, something like they didn't even, instead of saying Space Jam 1 was better, maybe they didn't even play basketball in the new one. They were just video game characters.
Okay, like subtlety.
Yeah,
like,
subtle. I like subtlety.
Pay attention to every line and dig into it. Okay.
I like blink if you miss it moments. I don't like throw it in my face. Here's the reference, Now with something like Benedict, that's different.
Actually, no, that's a good example though, because they could have just done a gag on Hamilton. Just straight up Hamilton, like, Oscar and Kareem and Penny, they go see a Hamilton skit, and, it'll probably have the same shenanigans like, the Benedict one. But the fact that it's Benedict and is directly making fun of, what was the name of the lyric? I'm not a sellout.
I'm not a sellout, but I sold out. But I sold out, but I'm not a sellout or something. Yeah.
I feel like, at least for me, some of that subtlety that you're asking for, I feel like it's in something like Benedict, in a way.
Yes, and that's why I think I appreciated it. Right, and that's why I think I appreciated it more. It even helps when they have Lamorne Morris, just randomly here.
That's even that adds to the comedy. It adds to the comedy.
Right. But yeah, that's a little critique I have that I've seen in the new series versus the old series. The references were more in dialogue versus visual, know, and I appreciate witty dialogue, and the Proud Family is chock full of it, and I know they can give it to us. As we said, I found Maya's dialogue hilarious in this episode. Did you recognize Myron, his voice actor?
Oh, not the voice actor. I remember the character. Who's
and again, they had a number of voice actors this episode. And that's what, a lot of special guests that Calvin was saying that would be on. But that one is probably the most well-known, other than like Lena and Logan. But that's Jaden Smith, man.
That's Jaden Smith?
Yes, that was Jaden Smith.
Oh my God. I got to go back and listen to it. It didn't even sound like him.
Yeah, if you've listened to any of his recent stuff.
I guess recent. And
he did like that anime on Netflix.
Neo
Yokio or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. Yeah, I was like, oh God, there he is. It's just kind of there. Worth mentioning, just that he's there.
Right. Okay. I didn't know. Okay, that's cool. Again.
Cool.
A character that we haven't seen since the OG, and we don't even have like a present day version of him.
We do. Yeah, we see him. He was in episode 2 or 1.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, he was there for like a couple seconds.
But it's just like, here's Jaden Smith again. He's younger than the original voice actor Marcus T. Polk.
That's hilarious.
But that's hilarious. Here he is. He said, "Hey, Benny, I heard you and your boy toy are like over. They call
maybe we could, they call me. Oh, what was it? Myron Squared?
No, M Squared.
M Squared.
Right. Silliness.
It is silly. But yeah, and then at the end, Oscar basically comes in, saves the day. Again with the shot.
Another shot.
Matters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got the little Rokers. I call him Little LeBron. All right, sure, Roker, let's go.
Sure, yeah, there. But of course, I don't know. I feel Al Roker is more evil than ever before.
He's definitely more evil. Does this episode like basically cap the trilogy? Because that was a trilogy, right? A trilogy of Al Roker episodes.
I'm sure he can make any return he wants in any situation.
Penny's never gonna learn. She's just always gonna.
Or maybe someone else, because here you had Oscar taking the bait of Al Roker and to relive his college years, I guess.
Okay, yeah, he did take the bait.
Right.
And Al Roker sent him back. He was like, Penny, I got 6 days left on this free trial. I'm gonna stay.
Right. And then I was like, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. So no, I think they can easily bring Al Roker back for more shenanigans.
I mean, he's a fan of animation. From if you see him in interviews talking about the show, like he's for this. He loves doing this stuff.
Right. And I've seen him in other stuff too, like movies. He was playing a weatherman in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's one thing.
Oh, that's good.
I know. Yeah. But it's always a welcome return. It's a really silly concept, which you got insight about if you want to hear our podcast interview with Calvin Brown Jr. But
go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. It works. It works. For some reason it works. I don't know if you could cast anybody else in that role and it worked the same, but the weatherman's a genie and apparently he works for the man downstairs, and
specifically that one.
Right. And it works. And yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it.
Did he make a gag about his glasses too? Like the color of the
she said colored glasses, colored frames don't make you look younger.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't realize I haven't watched like the news or the Today Show in years. Right. I didn't know he was wearing colored.
I didn't know that either. I had to look it up. I'm like, oh my God, he does.
Which is funny because in the original series, he's wearing just like black.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, that's funny. Aside from that, yeah, the episode overall was really good. I mean, you can go back and watch the episode and probably dig for more like little Easter eggs and
the Bebe's Kids, the
DVD that Penny pulled out of her bag.
Right.
There was that one. I don't know if this one was intentional or not, and because again, it does sound like just a regular like ringtone, but in the beginning in the beginning of the episode when Oscar was with Kareem and Penny watching Benedict. His phone started to ring. Another great gag, hilarious. But the ringtone, I could be digging too much deep into it, but the ringtone that was playing, I think that's the codec call from Metal Gear Solid. I don't know if the intern that was working on the show was like, oh yeah, put that in there. Just make a subtle reference. But then I started listening to it again. I'm like, oh, but it does sound like a normal ringtone, but it sounds like the codec call.
I think you nailed it. If you say this, I'm sure there's some truth behind it. There's no doubt. Because again, they just throw things in there to see if people notice.
I noticed.
We noticed.
We noticed. It's all great. I guess the last thing we can say really is, just overall, what did you think about the episode and how would you rank it amongst, the ones that we've seen so far?
It's better than last week's. I enjoyed it more than last week's, most definitely. I still feel it's a little higher. It's more in the middle for me. It's not out of the 7 episodes, right? 7?
Yeah, 7. This is the 7th.
It's probably in the middle for me. I don't think it breaks like the top 3. I think it's right there in the middle above, say, last week's Get In and yeah. It's middle. Okay. The opening saved it for me. Like, right. I really enjoyed that. I really did.
No, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat too. Like, I really enjoyed it. Mainly, again, the opening nailed it. I love that opening bit with Oscar, Penny, Kareem, just all the gags, all the little dialogues between the characters, and the only other thing was just kind of like that middle ground, like in the episode. I felt like it was kind of stagnant a little bit. But again, Al Roker being part of the episode, to me, that elevates it again. Like, because we haven't seen Al Roker in forever. He was hilarious back then. He's still hilarious now. And yeah, all the little Easter eggs and the little, references, I did enjoy them. Maybe they were a little too on the nose. But I still enjoyed them. Like, I saw the Nutty Professor, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed.
I definitely laughed. I was like, okay, here, Here we are, Sherman Klump.
I'll take it. Let's go. Let's go.
Right.
But yeah, I would still say it's like right below like my top 3.
Yeah, it's like number 4. Or
it's like number 4. And again, that's just a testament to just how good those 3 episodes are that I have in my top 3. This episode was still great. It had its great moments, funny moments, had a pretty decent message, especially at the end with Oscar saying like, hey, enjoy your youth while you can. We're going to take care of you. And we only do those crazy things that you get embarrassed about because we love you, Petty.
Right.
And Petty's like, you getting shot out of a cannon on stage during a Broadway play is for me?
No, that was for me. I always wanted to be part of a Broadway show.
It got me. But yeah, I would say pretty good episode of the Proud Family. I would say that wraps up our thoughts on episode 7 of Louder and Prouder. Let us know what you all think in the comments below. What did you think about the episode? Did you like the fateful return of our boy Al Roker, the evil genie in a bottle? I have a feeling we're gonna see him again. And hey, Calvin was telling us be excited for the Al Roker episode. I feel like for the most part, those expectations were met. I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed Al Roker's appearance, and I can't wait for the coming weeks. We got episode 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll wait and see. But that's all that we have for you guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like what we had to say, share us around. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at the Yonkō Table. Give us a like, give us a share, and yeah, let us know what you all think about the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. But with that, everyone, I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonkō Grandmaster Hoop, signing off, and take care.